Just see. Good morning, sir. How are you? How are you is a question. How are you is a question, and that question. Hello. So ask what I am saying. Asking. WH questions. I'm talking about WH questions. In WH questions, when I say how are you, automatically the person, your co-partner, says, I'm fine, thank you. How are you? And the conversation starts. So asking questions and getting information is a very good situation where we ask questions, direct questions to the speakers, to your friend, and you get information. So what's your name? For the beginning, we can say, may I know your name, please? If you are talking to a person who is not known to you, unknown, or just
सर माइक बंद झालाय तुमचा सर अवताडे सर
हेलो हेलो
माइक बंद झालता
ठीक है इट्स ओके
ओके
I was talking about WH questions. Questions are used to get information. These questions are used to get information. Then I shall go to the yes no questions, category of yes no questions. Yes no questions are answered in terms of yes or no. When I say, do you live in Chakan? You can say yes, sir. No, sir. Do you use bike? Do you use mobile? Do you study regularly? Does your friend come in time? Yes or no. All these questions are answered in terms of yes or no. And that's why they are called yes no questions. They are in terms of grammar, they are also called verbal questions because they begin with verbs, auxiliary verbs. Do, forms of to be, forms of to have, forms of to do. So to do, to be, and to have. So, and sometimes modals also. So these yes no questions are used in communication, and they are basically in communication. I'm talking about my major focus today is not grammar, it is communication. So when we say, do you live in Chakan? Yes, sir, I live in Chakan. No, sir, I don't live in Chakan. So this is the way we can communicate with the help of yes no questions. What about tag questions? Tag questions are basically used to get confirmation from what you have said. When I make a statement in the one statement, when I make a statement and I want to get confirmation of the information which I have made in my statement, I use tag question. Such as involved, isn't she? Hello? I'm doubtful when actually some calls are coming. That's why that problem is there. So please.
कनेक्टिव्हिटी मग होता सर आज जरा वातावरण आहे तसं
that's the problem.
Otherwise
that is the problem. Sometimes that may happen. But I think I'm audible to all. Yes. If there is any problem, just tell me.
Yes,
tag questions. For example, when I say Sachin is the best bowler in the world, and I'm doubtful about my information, I can say, isn't he? So isn't he is a tag question, and this is used in communication to get the confirmation of the information that I used in my statement or my what we say sentence, I would say. So friends, These three types of questions are used in communication, and this is also the skill that we should have when we go to the next stage of communication. Only greeting people is not sufficient. We must have the skill of asking questions and getting information. And that is the chain. Language is the chain. Language is just not a single sentence. It is a chain of thoughts, it is a chain of sentences, it is a chain of statements, questions, and all these things. So this chain should be established. This rapport should be established. And with the help of that rapport, with the help of that chain, we can go further. We can go to the next stage. So the second stage.
सर माईक बंद होतं तुमचं परत सर अवताडे सर माईक बंद झालाय सर हॅलो
So when we think of questioning, we must master ourselves by constructing various questions, various constructions, various statements to answer the questions. So this is also by practice we can assimilate, we can get, no problem or no doubt about that. But we must know about questions or statements also. Getting information, information is not given in the form of questions. When we ask a question, information is given in the form of statements. So when I say, where do you live? Sir, I live in Chakan. How are you? I'm fine. So all the answers given to the questions are statements. So at the same time, not only questions, but the knowledge of statements is very important to establish a good communication, to develop the communication, to go further to the next stage. Understand? So friends, in everyday communication, not only greeting, but also the skill of questioning and skill of statements is important, and with the help of that we can go further to the next stage. I shall now concentrate, or I shall go to the third stage of 5 points that I'm to focus today, and the third stage is requesting people. So requesting is, in a way, important aspect, important point, because the shade or the meaning that we convey through the request is something different than the other things. That's why requesting is separate point that I have selected separately. Requesting people. We must know how to request people, because always we do not talk and go. Sometimes we have to request people in communication. There are many situations, but these 5 situations are important for beginners. So suppose in a college campus, you need to take a notebook from your friend. Here, questions and answers are not important. You have to make the request, and that request is, the first way is, if you don't know good English, you can say, please give me your notebook. I was absent yesterday. Please give me your notebook is also a request number. It's a very simple way I'm telling you. Please give me. Please give me. When you are led to the class, for example, and you have to enter the class, what do you say? Right from your high school days, we have been using one expression, and that is, may I come in, sir? May I come in, sir? It is not a question, but it is a request. May I come in, sir? Apparently, it seems to be a question, but this is not a question. This is a request. So the shade behind this particular construction is request. It is used for requesting people. So this is a request. So when you say, may I come in, sir? May I come in, ma'am? Quite often we use this. Yes, in day-to-day communication we use. But what is the meaning of this? This is a request. This is a polite request, not a simple request. because may is used for polite request. Politeness means you are very polite in that context. In Marathi, we call it namrata. Namrapane vinanti karta. So friends, may I come in, sir? We use, that is the request. Suppose, can I use might for that? The counterpart of may is might. And can I say, might I come in, sir? Yes, we can say, but very occasionally we can say. Because may is used, or may is polite, might is more polite and more respect. Suppose a minister is there and for you have to use his cabin, you can say, might I use your cabin, sir? You cannot say, may I use your cabin? Might I use your cabin? This is more polite and more respect. For example, you have to go to the principal, honorable principal, and you have to use, for example, some cabin or some computer or anything else up principal's cabin. You cannot say, may I use your computer or may I use your typewriter? You have to say, might I use, sir? So might is more polite and more respect. I can also say, can I use your phone? This is also one of the ways. Could I use your computer? This is also the way to request people. In addition to this, some typical expressions are there which are used for requesting people. These typical expressions are, would you mind if I use your bike for a day? Would you mind? So would you mind? If the statement or that particular question begins with, would you mind? Would you mind if I use your bike for a day? I wonder, you won't mind if I use your car? I wonder if I use your car. You won't mind if I use your car. These are also the expressions that we use to request people. And please give me a cup of tea. This is also a request. Please close the door. Please close the window. Please turn off the computer. So these are the day-to-day communication requests used in day-to-day communication. But you must know some certain situations on which we don't have to use normal requests such as please give me, please allow me. In addition to that, you have to be more polite and more respectful, and for that context, may, might, can, could, such type of modals are used, and these modals help us understand the context of polite and respect. That's why requesting people is one more step, one more stage in everyday communication. Understand? So friends, student friends, I discussed three important stages in communication. The first was greeting and introducing yourself. The second was asking questions and getting information. And the third was requesting people. I shall now go to the fourth important stage in day-to-day communication, and that is thanking people. Thanking. We must know the way how to thank people rather than how to respond to the thanking expression. If there are two people, for example, I shall give you, there are two persons, A and B, we shall call A and B. If A says thank you, then what would B say? Suppose your friend is there in the campus and your friend has taken your notebook or writing the incomplete notes on account of his absence on a certain day. And in that context, A says, thank you. What would B say then? What would B say? B would say, don't mention, please. B would say, it's all right in this context. Suppose I shall give you the situations, communicative situations. Suppose a blind man wants to cross the road, and after your college, you are going home, and on the road that blind man is there, and blind man says, boy, young boy, please help me to cross the road. Vehicles are coming and going. I don't understand how to cross the road. Being a responsible citizen of the country, you help that blind man to cross the road, and you cross the road. You help that person to cross the road, and after uh, after helping him, or after putting him in a safe situation or safe point, that person says, thank you, boy, thank you, girl, if girl is there. What you should say to that blind man? Can you say, don't mention? Can you say, it's all right? No. In this context, you will have to say, no, it's my duty. No, it's my duty. Because it is the social responsibility that has been entrusted, that has been shouldered on you by social rules, social etiquettes, that you have to cross, that you have to help that blind man to cross the road. So friends, you can say, it's my duty. No, it's my duty. All right. And blind, yes, right now, you can go now. So in that way, you can buy. You can end the conversation, or you can respond to the thanks mentioned, thanks given to you by that blind man. When I shall give you two situations, I gave you the situation of a friend, for example. In that context, you can say, don't mention, please, or it's all right. You can say, some guest is coming home, for example, and with good hospitality, if the guest is ready to go, at that moment he can say, thank you for your hospitality. Thank you for your hospitality. Thank you for the time that I have spent with you all. In that context, we can say, you're most welcome. You're always welcome. Welcome. So welcome is used in that context. Welcome is not used. For example, you cannot say welcome to that blind man. That situation, or that nuances of situation, we must know. Nuances of meaning, I would say. Nuances of meaning, we must know. So friends, to that blind man, we cannot say, you are most welcome. Or for example, I shall give you another situation. Honorable principal goes to the class, and he forgets his pen in his cabin, and he wants to note down some points, and he takes the pen from a student of that class, and he writes some points, important points, that he wants to write on a page, and after that he gives your pen back to you as a student, and honorable principal says, thank you, boy. Thank you, Ganesh. If he knows the name of the boy, thank you, Ganesh. What would you say? What should be the response of a student? The response of a student in that context should be, it's my pleasure. So it's my pleasure, sir. It means this is a rare occasion for me, and as I have offered my pen to you, this is a rare occasion, and it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. In that context, you should not say not at all. You should not say don't mention, please, but you should say it's my pleasure. Suppose an elderly person thanks you, and in that context, you should say not at all, not at all. Thank you, not at all. So friends, in this situation, which I just explained, if A says thank you, what we should say, there are many options and many situations, communicative situations, and in that context only you have to say, or you have to use these expressions. These expressions are, Don't mention, please. You may note down. If you are students, if there are some students in the class, students, please note down these. What should be the responses after thanking people? Responses are: number one, don't mention, please. Second, not at all.
सर माईक बंद झाला परत. सर माईक चालू करा. सर ऑडिओ व्हिडिओ दोन्ही बंद झाले.
Use while thanking people or while I mean thanking people, and responses related to that. Okay. Then I shall go to now the fifth and last point, which I would like to talk about or talk on. And the last point is farewell expressions or leave-taking expressions. Leave-taking, that is the point. Leave-taking. Leave means nirop ghene. Leave-taking, farewell expressions. How do you end the conversation? What are the points that what are the expressions that we use to end the conversation? Abruptly, we cannot end the conversation. To end the conversation, we need some expressions such as bye, goodbye, see you. We can say bye bye, goodbye, see you. We can also say nice meeting you. We can say, for example, two people are traveling from Solapur to Pune, and they're meeting for the first time. And there was a good discussion between them. There was a good conversation between them. There was a good rapport between them. They discussed on a variety of subjects during the travel from Solapur to Pune. And that time he can say, nice meeting you. At the end of the journey, they can say, nice meeting you. That is leave-taking expression. They can also say, keep in touch with me, because they were the beginners. They were the new people earlier. Now they have established good communication. They have taken the phone numbers of each other, mobile numbers of each other's, and they can say, keep in touch with me. Call me, phone me. Don't hesitate to meet me on Monday. Again, they might have made some plans, and they can say, don't hesitate to meet me on Monday. Feel free to call me at any time. If you need any help, feel free to call. Feel free to call. So these are the conversation ending responses, expressions that we use in day-to-day communication. So friends, that we can say, that we can use. And also I was talking about the one expression which I told you initially, that is good night. Good night is also used as a parting expression. Parting expression. Parting expression, you understand? Means leave-taking expression, good night. Good night is never used initially to start the conversation. It is always used to end the conversation. So good night. So with these 5 points, you can develop a dialogue, for example. Actually, there are also some other situations in which we can, or which are used in communication, but I did not discuss these things because good wishes are given, apologies are given. For example, good luck, best wishes, then I'm sorry, or we can say some toasts are used, good health, cheers. Some expressions on congratulations are also used. Condolences, sympathy is also expressed in communication. Offers are given, invitations are given. These are the situations, no doubt about that. But these situations are used in communication, day-to-day communication, friendly communication. But basic points which I discussed for the beginners are these points, with the help of which you can develop a dialogue. I give you one situation, and with the help of that, you can develop an imaginary dialogue. I will give you a situation. For students particularly, I shall give you a situation. Yes. Ramesh and Suresh are friends. You may note down. Ramesh and Suresh are friends. They are good friends. They are they come to the college regularly. On Saturday, they meet in a park and they plan for Sunday outing. They plan for Sunday outing. Write an imaginary dialogue between Ramesh and Suresh about the plan that they have to do for Sunday outing. So students may try with the help of these 5 points. When they will meet at park, for example, at the park, whatever park it may be, they will say good morning, hello, hi, whatever it may be. How did you come here today? I came with my friends. You can say, then shall we plan something for tomorrow? Yes, we shall go to, for example, Shumaga. You can say we shall go to anything, any spot around your place, you can say. And that plan they make. Then at the end of the conversation, they can say, okay, thank you, good night, bye bye, nice meet, bye bye, see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock. So this is also the expression that Ramesh and Suresh they have to use. So with the help of these points, with these points, I think you can develop a good conversation, and this conversation is very important in our day-to-day communication, particularly friendly communication. I was talking about friendly communication, and these points I covered, which are very important in small talks or everyday communicative situations. I think I have covered all these points, and now I stop my discussion on this particular topic. Let us have discussion. If you have any doubts, queries, or just instead of doubts and queries, you can just, particularly students, you may establish a rapport with me, communication with me with the help of these points. So I shall stop my discussion, and the practice session or just uh, conversation session will begin. So all students may take part in this. Thank you for giving patience listening to my lecture, and also thank you the authorities of the college for giving me this opportunity to have a dialogue with you all. Thank you.